Okay, now I'm gonna get to, hey Deetra, I'm gonna get to what we're painting tonight. All right, so this is, hello Mama. This is the box that we also have. This is also on the Etsy store. So you can go back, if you watch tonight and you wanna paint this, you can order your kit and then you can paint it. You can come back and watch the video later. All right, so this is a double-sided round. It's gonna come with twine. Hey, Miss Laura. It's gonna come with makeup sponges for painting, super glue. And it's gonna come in one of these fun pizza boxes. And it's double-sided. Now, I can only etch one side. So one side, because we have 3D lettering that needs to be placed, I etched this side right here. And I even did the lines so you can paint it like shiplap. And then on the other side, I'm gonna slide those letters off. On the other side, it's just blank. So you can paint it like shiplap, and I'll show y'all tonight, as long as we have time. I'm gonna show you how to do the faux shiplap look. And then I've also got the 3D lettering that goes on the back. There's a heart that's 3D, and hello, Miss Karen. And then there's also a love that's 3D. So this one is 3 layers. I'm gonna show y'all a trick tonight. If you're doing 3D lettering and you're painting it using tape. So I just needed some tape. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this. I'm gonna paint both sides. And then I'm going to blow dry it. Hello, Miss Sharon. How are y'all doing tonight? I'm so glad everybody jumped on. Okay, let me get a bunch of white. Now, because this is gonna be shiplapped, I'm not going to worry about like super, super heavy coverage. But to make my off-white, I'm gonna do 1 drop of brown. And I know y'all are gonna ask which brown this is. This is Earth Brown. It's the Anita bottle from Joann's. I'm gonna take the back of my paintbrush, not this one though, I want a round one. The back of my paintbrush, I'm just gonna mix that brown in. And when you mix this in, it's actually gonna look kind of pink. Don't worry about that. Hi, Miss Terry. I did have a great Christmas. I hope you did too. All right, so I'm just mixing this in. It just has a really slight pink tint to it. Don't worry about that. Your painting is not gonna look pink. I'm gonna grab my big base coat brush. And I'm gonna just go ahead and start slapping some paint on here. Now, I'm gonna go with the wood grain. If you wanted your shiplap look to go the other way, you can totally do that. This, for me, is gonna be an indoor round. So it's gonna be a decoration I'm gonna actually use indoors. So you don't have to worry as much about getting heavy coats of paint on. Thank you, Juanita, you too. So I'm just gonna slap some paint on here. I am getting these sides. If it's a laser cut sign, you don't actually have to do the signs, but I wanted to go ahead and do that. I am getting in these cracks where it was laser cut and etched, but I am still leaving a little bit of that wood grain showing through. And I'm kind of putting the paint on and then pulling the excess off. So quick coat, back and forth. And I'm really hoping, my friend Tiffany, who went earlier, I think she got 2 projects done. I'm hoping that I can get the front and back of this done tonight. I don't paint quite as quick as she does, so hopefully I can do it. All right. All right, the main thing when you're doing this, you want to take your brush strokes all the way across so that they go off of the board and you don't have these like weird strokes that only go 3/4 of the way over. Now, to do that, you need to make sure you have enough paint on your brush. Now, I am doing these choppier strokes just to get some paint over there where I didn't have any. Now I'm back and forth. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all. You can still see the wood through that. That's totally okay. That's the look that I'm going for. I am gonna hit this with the blow dryer, and then I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna paint the other side. I'm gonna say that. My blow dryer's not working. Oh, there it goes. It's not gonna work on high. I had fingerprints on there I had to get off. Okay. All right, I think that side is good. If y'all are on, make sure you sprinkle the video with your friends so they can enjoy the crafting tonight too. Now, I am gonna add more white. And I'm not going to add any more brown because I want this to be a little bit brighter on this side. But that one little drop of brown just really helps to not have to have a lot of coats of coverage. All right, I've got a lot of paint on my brush. Just going to slap it on. Now, both sides of this are going to look somewhat vintage, so I'm not really worried about getting a whole bunch of coats on. But if you want yours to be real clean, so some of my signs are more clean and some are more vintage. If you want yours to be more clean, you can add multiple coats. All right. If you get any paint boogies on your board, make sure you get those off. All right, this side is almost done. Okay, I'm not hitting this side with the blow dryer because we are gonna move, while that's drying, we're gonna move on to the next part. Now, I am going to grab a plate and I'm gonna get some tape. This is just regular masking tape. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get a piece, I don't know, yay long. And I'm gonna tack it down on my plate. Now, you could do it straight to the table if you wanted to, but I was trying to minimize the amount of paint I get on the table. So I decided to do it on the plate instead. Okay, so now what I did was the sticky side is up. I just tucked the ends under. And I'm gonna stick these letters. Let's see, how's that? That goes like that. Doesn't matter what order you stick them in right now because we're gonna rearrange them afterwards. But we're just gonna stick these letters right to this tape. I'm gonna do one more. Another plate of letters. Okay, I think that's all of that word. And this sign says, on one side, it says Simply Blessed. And on the other side, it says Love with a 3D heart. Okay, so I think, let's do this. I think I can do 2 layers on this and get, because these are all joined, I think I can get both on the same plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint the Love, and I'm gonna paint the Blessed and Simply. And then I'll also, after I get all these painted, I'm gonna tack these on there. Then we'll go back and we'll paint our heart, and then we'll start putting it all together. Okay, I wanted to do gray. Did y'all know this was gray? Navy blue for my letters. I'm gonna shake this up. This was a brand new bottle, and friends, if you hate opening brand new bottles of paint because of the clear plastic, pretend like you're tightening the bottle and you can pull this off when you're tightening, it'll come right off the top of it, okay? So just another quick tip right there. All right, so I've got some navy blue paint. I'm gonna go ahead and put this brush in the water. Friends, I like, if my brushes aren't being used, I like for them to go in the water so they don't get messed up. All right, so I'm gonna grab, not a lot of paint, friends. I just want to brush this, all of these letters. You can even use a makeup sponge to do this if you want to. I'm just using a brush tonight. But if you did a makeup sponge, you could just up and down. Thank you, Gina. Okay. So I'm gonna get all these painted. Now I'm doing navy. You can do whatever color you want. I have not decided if when I sell the upgraded version of this kit, because right now I have it, you can just buy the blank pieces. But I haven't decided when I sell the upgraded version where you get the paint and everything with it, if I'm gonna also add greenery. I never get that plastic off. Yes, Miss Sharon, that is my favorite way to do that. I realized that one day when I was about to pull my teeth out, trying to use my teeth to open it, and I'm like, Kara, there's got to be a smarter way. So, yeah. All right, so navy. Now I might need another quick coat of navy. One thing to tell you, I did cut this round, is from a 1/4 inch, and then obviously, okay, so all my friends that know wood know that if you buy a 1/4 inch, it's not actually a 1/4, it's a 1/4 before they cut it, before they plane it and do all the things to it. And so I did cut it from 1/4 inch, but that's, you know, obviously after it's been processed or manufactured. So I did cut that from 1/4 inch, and then these 3D pieces are cut from 1/8 inch, which makes the sign not so heavy when you're adding all of these 3D elements, because it can get super heavy. Now this is around a 12 inch circle, or round. And I did put the digital version up, but it does not have block posters for like a door hanger. It's the SVGs. So if you guys would like me to do a block poster of it so it's larger, and then you can do you can use the tracing paper and the graphite paper, or not tracing paper, you can use the graphite paper to transfer. I can work on that this week. Because that way, those of you who don't have access to a laser cutter, you can do it, just not in 3D form. And then all you need to do is cut your round. And you might want to cut your heart too. All right, just slapping some paint on. This, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Terry. So friends, those of you who follow me, yes, I do usually paint slower. I am on a time limit tonight, but I'm just so stinking grateful that these ladies let me join them. I feel very blessed to have ladies around me who like to help each other, and I was so excited to be a part of this. So yes, so I'm trying to stick to my hour-long time limit, but I will be back starting next week, hopefully Tuesdays and Thursdays again. Friends, I will have to fill y'all in on all the crazy stuff that happened with my family this year. Crazy doesn't even start to describe it. We had a cancer scare with my husband, and then if y'all catch me, I think it was the last time that I went live, I was going in, or I had just gone in for a mammogram, so I had to go back, and I have to go back again in 6 months. So it doesn't seem like anything's wrong, but man, all these tests and doctor trips. I've never been to the doctor so much in all my life, whether it was for me or my kids or my husband. So this year where, you know, we all go into the new year thinking like, this is going to be my year. Yeah, so this wasn't my year, but I don't really think it was anyone's year. But anyway, so I feel like I have been MIA for a while. But guys, like, it's just been crazy hectic. Crazy hectic. So thank y'all for bearing with me. And yes, Terry, I'm sorry it's not super relaxing tonight. Hello, Miss Anna. Hello, Miss Susie. Miss Susie was so excited about crafting today. I hope that you've been able to catch some of the other lives. I've shared them all to my page. So make sure y'all hop over and give all the other ladies pages a like and show them some love for so you can catch their stuff in the future. All right. Guys, this seriously, the paint or taping these down make it so much easier. And what's so great is we're kind of doing both sides of this at the same time. So you're gonna have a reversible sign in no time. Yay, Kathy! Okay, can y'all see? All right, so this is simply, right now it says Miss Pilly, but that's not what it's gonna say when we're done. So I'm gonna move all this over. Now we're gonna paint our heart. Now my heart, not my heart, I'm gonna paint love. And I'm actually gonna do it in khaki. I don't think I need any more navy. So I'm gonna put that in the water. So I've got a khaki color. Amanda, I will be starting that back up in January. I did not do one for December. Yes, I taped them to the plate with masking tape. So I did not do one in December, but I will be back to doing a 50% off template in January. And I've also got some other ideas that I will be sharing. So stay tuned for that, because there's going to be some other ways to get discounts. Now, obviously, my members always get discounts. So any of my virtual paint party members, they don't ever pay full price for anything, or they shouldn't, as long as they use their coupon codes. And I'm so excited. Our virtual paint party project, I always do it the first week of the month. And I'm so excited because that's coming up, starting tomorrow. We're the first week of the month. Okay, I am slapping some khaki paint on here. Now, let me just tell you why I'm putting khaki paint on. I don't want my letters to end up khaki, but I want them to have a base coat for underneath the glitter. So we're gonna be glittering this, but I don't want the wood to show through. I want there to be a base coat of this khaki color. So a little bit more. Okay. All right, so there are the other two. Now I'm gonna go ahead and paint my heart. I'm gonna elevate this heart and stick that in the water. Friends, I've got so many paintbrushes over here. And what's so funny is right before I jumped on, I had a whole cup of paintbrushes, and I grabbed another whole cup. Like when I say I have a whole cup, like I had a whole cup and I grabbed another whole cup. So I got paintbrushes everywhere. All right, quick coat of red. Friends, if you are painting red, my best tip is to go with a gloss red. Now, I'm not painting with a gloss red tonight because I forgot my gloss red over at my house where I used to do my lives. So I'm just working with what I've got. If y'all know me very well, you know a big fan of just working with what you have so that you don't get into procrastination mode. Because I don't know about y'all, but I'll find the time to craft and then I'm like, well, I don't have this and I don't have this, and I don't have this myself to death. Miss Tessa, I miss seeing you too. And I was actually messaging with Tommy the other day, and we were talking about she got her new fun toy for Christmas, and I want to do in-person parties again so bad. And I'm hoping that 2021 lets that happen. So friends, I don't know about y'all, but I have local customers that I miss seeing their faces and hugging their necks. And I love, 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 don't get me wrong, I love all of my online customers. Love y'all to pieces. Y'all are the ones who let me continue to do what I love every day, and I thank y'all for it. But I miss in person too. Okay, I've got everything painted. The next thing that I'm gonna do before we start assembling is, as soon as this love, I'm gonna wipe some of the paint that was kind of thick, kind of just drip down on my letters. I'm just gonna take my hands and I'm just gonna wipe off any excess. And I'm just using my microfiber towel to, yeah, I'm getting my hands dirty. That's okay. All right, so I've got that. Let me do this one. I think this one's not as bad. Did a better job on that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the blessed off. Look how pretty that is. I'm gonna set it off to the side. And then I'm gonna use this plate. Actually, I have, ooh, whoops. I have another one. Let me just use this. Okay, we are gonna slap some glue. I'm gonna use a paintbrush for my glue, and then I'll stick it in the water since it's water soluble glue to wash it. Okay, where did I put, oh, there's my glue. All right, so I'm gonna coat this really quickly with glue. Actually, I'm gonna use 2 plates because then I can do both of them at the same time. All right, I always, if I'm gonna glitter, I always put my, whatever I'm glittering onto a plate, and then I can kind of go, oh shoot, I can kind of go back and forth. There we go, okay. All right, let me get this off. Don't y'all love glue so much? All right. Just gonna pour some of that out there. I'm gonna water it down just a tiny bit. And then we're gonna do just a quick coat of glue all over here. Don't glue your piece to the plate though. That wouldn't be good. All right, I'm gonna set that there. I'm gonna do this one. Friends, this is kind of messy, but what's awesome about these 3D projects is they look great, even if you do look a little bit messy while you're doing it. They're just like no fail. Okay, so I'm gonna put those there. I'm gonna move that plate out of the way. And, oh, Pam, no. So our Wi-Fi is down at our house. Our router, we must have gotten hit with, what do you call it? Like power surge. And my husband ordered a new router today, but obviously it's not gonna be here yet. And so I had to switch to just my phone service Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, LTE. So that is all I have access to right now. All right, so this is extra fine craft glitter. I just put that really quick coat of watered down glue. You could use Mod Podge, just use whatever you have. And then I'm going to let this dry. Look how pretty. I don't know if y'all can see that. See? But I'm gonna let this dry flat like that. Oh, got one spot. Let me get some of this. Okay, and I'm gonna start assembling. Yes, Beth, I missed you too. I have not been live lately. That's what I was just talking about. We, you know, 2020 wasn't most people's year, just like it wasn't ours. We were no exception. Oh, let me get some of this off. I'm gonna just go around, make sure I don't have any wet. And I'm gonna show y'all that trick for making the, what do you call it? Oh, yes, Can't tell what color glitter. Sorry, Terry, I missed that. I meant to tell you. I started talking and then I messed up. It is just extra fine craft glitter gold. So that's what color it is, and it's going to go over the red heart. Now, if you are like me and you love all things, what do you call it? Shiplap. I'm going to take my marker very, very gently. Uh-oh, got a little bit shaky. Very gently, okay? I'm putting my ruler down, and you can do them all the same, you know, approximately the same width apart. You could do some closer together than others. However you want to do it, but I'm just using a Sharpie, and I'm very gently, like not putting much pressure, and getting a really thin. In some places, my pen even lifts and I don't get any marker all over this. Keep lifting. All right, and let's do one more about right here. Just a plain Sharpie, okay? All right, so now I have my lines. You see that? And what I'm gonna do to kind of disguise those lines is I'm gonna mix a little bit more of that paint. I just used white with a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of brown in it. And we're gonna go over this one more time. And that way, we'll just barely cover up those lines. Oh man. Oh guys, it's 6:30. Oh, I guess it's 5:30 for some of y'all. I'm in Eastern time, so my time slot was at 5, but for me that was actually 6. Okay, so I've got just my paint mixed, and that brush top just came right off. All right, which way did I paint? I don't think it even matters. All right, so I'm just gonna go back over this. Now I'm just kind of dry brushing up and down, okay? Just kind of dry brushing, but I want to go over that line in some spots, not over it in others. And then I do want to go over the parts between the lines too. Yes, Pam, I just used a Sharpie. Sometimes if I'm doing these really fine lines, I will just use a regular Sharpie right over my paint. As long as your paint is super dry, and you're not trying to do a regular Sharpie over wet paint, it won't work. All right, all the way down. I'm just kind of making these, oh, I'm flicking paint all over me. What do they say? Wear an apron, Kara, wear an apron. There, let me put that right there. The main thing is you don't want these lines to be too prominent, and you want some places for them to almost kind of fade into the background. But I did want this to look kind of streaky, the paint. All right, so can y'all see that? So there is a quick, easy faux shiplap, just like that. Now this other side, I'm actually not going to do anything else to, because I put the etched lines on there, and they're not, they didn't really get covered up because I did such a light coat of paint. Thank you so much. Yes, those are two of my favorite signs, Jenny. Love those. Okay, so I do have some wet paint here. I'm gonna hit this really quick with the blow dryer, and then we're gonna start assembling. right, let me show y'all what that looks like dry. You can still see the streaks, which I added over the top after I did the Sharpie. All right, it is time to start gluing. Now we're gonna do this side first because the other side is gonna have greenery on it, and so it won't lay flat anymore. So let me go ahead and grab, this is Gorilla Glue. It's the wood glue. If you order a kit from me, it will actually come with super glue because that works really well too. But this is just what I had on my table. So just gonna put some on here. And then we're gonna place this about, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. That looks about right. I'm gonna squish it down. Now I don't put glue right along the edges to try to minimize the amount that's gonna come out. Now, one thing I will say, anytime you're dealing with wood, you're gonna have some warping and some inconsistencies and some, you know, just little things that, I mean, we can't necessarily sand out. And so in those ways, just be patient. Oh, I need to put, I got a little bit of white on my red, so I need to touch that up real quick. Must have been on my fingers. All right, now I'm gonna do the love. Grab my pieces. Still hanger holes before paint. So this one came with holes already drilled. It's part of a kit, but no, I usually do it after. But since this is laser cut, I just did it before. Okay, so now I'm gonna work on placing these letters. They're gonna go kind of off of the heart. And the reason I blow dried that is because I didn't want all the glitter to stick to that one spot where I still had wet paint. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of place this where I want it. I'm gonna blow some glitter off. And now I'm gonna get my glue and I'm going to glue. I'm gonna leave one piece down while I glue the other side so that I don't kind of lose my positioning. All right. So just a little, I don't need a whole lot of glue. This Gorilla Glue holds pretty tight. I'm gonna kind of spread it with my finger because I don't want it real thick. And I don't want it to go all the way over here because that's gonna hang off of the heart. All right, just gonna set that down, push that down for a minute. And then I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Use my finger and kind of spread the glue. Before I place it, I just want to make sure. Yep, now I'm going to push down. Okay, all right, so now I've got, let me show y'all this side, and then we're going to start working on the other side. All right, so this little round, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's nice and glittery. So we have kind of the shiplap look and the bling kind of all together. Hope that y'all like that. This was one like that I saw in my head and I just really wanted it to come together. I'm kind of loving it, so I hope y'all do too. Okay, I'm gonna flip this over. Hopefully that Gorilla Glue holds. If not, obviously after I'm done, I'll come back and glue it. I think it'll be fine though. And I'm going to start laying my letters. Now, if you have a Q-tip, this makes it a little bit easier. And if you can see, I'm putting the glue straight onto this sign this time because I knew exactly where to go with it because it's etched. what I had seen a lot of people talking about was they loved the 3D signs, but they had trouble placing their letters after they made them because they weren't exactly sure like with the spacing. And so I thought, well, if we etch them, you can either do them with a marker and save that lettering and use it for something else, or it will show you where to place them. Now, I don't want any glitter on this side, so I'm gonna blow off any glitter. And then I'm just gonna kind of set this down, and I'm gonna arrange it so that it's on the etched part. Now, this blessed is really pliable, so you have to kind of move it to get it to be exactly on those lines. And if you can't get it exact, it's totally okay, because nobody's gonna come up to your sign and be like, oh, you messed it up a little bit because you didn't get that exactly on there. Now I'm gonna start pulling all of my letters. If I have extra paint, before I put it on my board, friends, wipe that paint off. Trust me, the last thing you want is to have to place this letter and move it and have paint transfer on your board and have to try to color match and paint underneath it. Not that it can't be done, but I would rather get my fingers dirty. You can use a paper towel if you want, but I would rather do that than have to worry about getting blue on my background. So fun. Thank you, Erica. You rock, you rock. I appreciate that so much. I got 20 minutes. Guys, I have 20 minutes left, and the only thing we have left is the greenery and the bow. I can't tell y'all. I have anxiety, like, bad. And it's so funny because, like, all day I've been thinking, okay, can I get it done? Can I get it? Was this too ambitious? But I think little things like taping it down, painting all the pieces and then assembling them, like things like that, help speed it up. All right, and then I've got my little eye. Hello, Miss Roxana. Thank you for sprinkling. Thank you, Miss Tammy. Okay, so let's see if the back side, did y'all see that? So I am gonna have to set this down. I'm gonna put this straight down onto my table because, you know, there was a lip on that. So I'm gonna set this on my table, flat side down. I'm gonna put this, a little bit more glue. And then while we're working on the bow and the greenery, we're gonna let this sit. I think because of that lip, it just kind of dropped down. It didn't have any pressure on it. So let me replace that. All right, let me show y'all real quick up close while I'm up here. Do y'all see how pretty sparkly that is, sprinkly that is? And then there's the other side, Simply Blessed. Okay, so now we're gonna work on our greenery and our bow. Okay, so I've never been a big greenery person. I've never really had a need for it. But when I decided I wanted to paint the Simply Blessed side in navy, I kind of felt like I had to have greenery. And I love the lamb ears, lamb's ear. Is that how you say that? Somebody that knows greenery better than me can tell me. I love the idea of this. This is a little bit pricey. It's like $13.99 for this thing, which, I mean, obviously if you buy it at half off, it's not that bad. But if you were doing these and selling them, it gets pretty pricey. But I do love these. They're very hardy and they're soft and they just look beautiful. So that's an option. And then I did grab this. I thought that for a sign that I have coming up, which I have to show y'all, look at that. It's almost like a lavender. This would be really pretty for Easter. So I did get this for that. But I've got one more option. Okay, I saw this. This is a more affordable option if you are on a budget. And there's a lot on here, okay? So this whole thing was $7.99, half off, so it was $4. And you could use one of these, and then this one was $6.99, half off. And, oh, glue, then regular glue. Oh, yes, yes, you're so smart. You're so smart. Thank you for that. But I thought these two together were really pretty. So, these would be a really pretty option, or you could go with the lamb's ear. That's what I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna do a burlap bow, just because I like how traditional and fun it is. And this sign, I actually have a spot in my kitchen that I have a sign right now that says, "Together is my favorite place to be." Friends, give me a second. I forgot my wire cutters. Oh, maybe I don't have any. Okay, so sorry. But I have a sign in my kitchen that says, "Together is my favorite place to be." And it's been up for like 4 years, maybe longer. So if y'all don't know, my family, we were all separated for the longest time because of my husband's job. And so when we got back together, obviously we didn't separate, like we didn't have a separation, but we just were all having to live away from him. And so anyway, when we got back together, I bought that sign, and so I finally am feeling like I could take down out of my kitchen and not jinx myself, and he's not going anywhere, and we're not gonna have to separate with the kids. Roxana, I used Gorilla Glue with my letters, but Suzette just said I should have probably used a little bit of hot glue and then the Gorilla Glue. That would have been genius. So, good idea. All right, I am gonna use hot glue. I have my hot glue gun plugged in. I'm gonna put this down. I think we're pretty safe now. And we're gonna work on this side. Okay, so I've got two pieces cut. One's a little bit smaller than the other. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna sandwich them together, and then, actually, I don't even know if I'm gonna need, I think I might be able to go shorter than that. Yeah, let me break that down. Let me make this a little bit smaller. But I'm gonna put them together so you can't tell that one is a little bit shorter than the other. Now, make sure that you turn your leaves so that you're not seeing the back side of them before you glue them down. Let's see, here's this piece. Oh, and Roxana, I meant to message you. I'm making, okay, I have a tiered tray in my kitchen, but it holds my fruit and vegetables. And so I was working on making one, and I found one I just fell in love with. And it's very vintage, farmhousey, but it's gorgeous. It has like all this really pretty detail. And I got all the components to start putting it together, and I saw that you were offering the tiered tray, or tiered tray kits. And I thought, oh, that's so funny. Great minds. Oh. Okay, so got my two pieces. I'm just gonna kind of put them together and hot glue these down, and then we'll work on our bow. So I'm gonna do one at a time. Y'all wanna hear what I did over Christmas break? Like a bonehead move. I'm really glad I didn't catch the studio on fire. So I came over here and did a live in the virtual paint party on, I think it was like December 21st or 22nd. Friends, I left my hot glue gun on, found it today. I've been over here so many times since then, but I didn't realize it was plugged in. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, I'm so excited to make one. Because I went to Hobby Lobby and they had some and they're pretty, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. I wanted something like really unique. And so I thought, I'm just gonna see what I can come up with. All right. So yeah, I'm so glad I didn't burn my house down. Ginger, aren't you glad I didn't burn, well, I say my house, my studio, burn my studio down. All right, I'm gonna let this set up for just a second and then we'll work on our bow. Let's see. I think this is the, let's see. I'm not a huge fan of hot glue, but there's sometimes that it's a necessary evil. Now I'm gonna piece another little piece right here, kind of make that a little bit fuller and let that cool. Okay, one more little dab of glue. Let me get another glue stick. All right. And then, where's my ribbon? Where did I put it? There it is. Okay. All right, so while that is all cooling, I'm gonna make the bow. Now guys, this is gonna be like the most simple bow ever. I didn't want anything hard. So I'm just gonna go a little bit past what my halfway point would be. Let's see. And then a little bit further. I'm gonna cut this off and then I'll tell you how long it is and I'll show you how far over I went. Okay. So this piece is approximately, 12 and 9, 21 inches. Thank you, Roxana. All right, so I've got this side and then and I went past the middle, that's important. And then I overlap this one and I'm a little bit past the middle too. Then I'm just gonna scrunch. So I'm just kind of like using my fingers and I'm just gonna scrunch. Then get my bow just like that. And I usually use a, what do you call it? I can't even think. What's the word? Oh, those zip ties, the plastic zip ties, because I can tighten it. But that's on my outside door hanger. Since this is gonna be going inside, I'm gonna just tie a regular bow, like just a regular loop. Make sure before you tie it tight, which I didn't get it quite in there right, so I need to lift up and scrunch again. Okay, now I'm just gonna bring this to the back and tie this really tight in the back, making sure it's all right. Make sure your loops are the same on both sides. Pull it tight, keep pulling it tight, and then double knot it. Okay, now I'm gonna cut that off. It has been a fun day, Cindy. I'm so thankful they let me be a part of it, but it has been so fun watching all of these creative ladies. Okay, let's see. I'm just cutting some of the bulk out so that it doesn't show underneath. So where I kind of made sure it overlapped, now I can cut that out now that it's all tied together. Now that it's all tied together. All right, that is how easy that little bow is. Now I'm gonna get my sign back over here and I am gonna hot glue that bow right there. I'm gonna put a big wad of glue right there and then we're just gonna push it down. And I'm just gonna kind of hold it until it cools a little bit. And we can just kind of straighten it and fluff it and all the things. Oh, friends, I'm so excited. So in 5 minutes, I will be sharing, well, it might take me a little bit longer after I jump off, but there will be another crafter. Roxana, are you next? I can't remember who's next, but I will be sharing the next live on my page. So stay tuned for that. And then once I share it, you can hop over to their page and show them some love. And then I hope that you guys will show us all of the fun crafts you make after you go back and you watch and you decide what you want to do. A lot of us have kits that we're offering that you can come back and paint later. So you can order those. But this, so friends, this is one side. Okay, don't y'all love it when you have like this idea in your head and then it comes together and it's exactly what you wanted? Okay, this was exactly what I wanted. This is gonna be hanging in my kitchen. But on the other side, I also have this super cute sign. So what I will probably do is I will probably add greenery and a bow to this side too, so that then I can just hang it on twine and I can just flip it back and forth. So that way this, you know, this won't show on this side if I have greenery over here too. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Please sprinkle the video with your friends. And if anyone wants to order any kits, I have this kit, which is the double-sided sign, as well as the tiered tray kit for Valentine's Day. I will be painting this live on my page next week. So order your kit. I shipped a bunch of those today so that y'all can paint along with me. Hopefully you'll get them in time. If not, obviously I will share the video, publish it so you can watch it at a later date. I appreciate y'all so much. Today was so much fun. So join the next crafter. I will be sharing it. And yes, please sprinkle the video. Bye.